Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Headlines, your weekly news session program on radio television of Burkina Faso. We will open this session by President Kabore's travel agenda of the week. On Sunday, July the 2nd, President Roch-Marc Christian Kabore took part to the G5 Sahel meeting at Bamako, Republic of Mali. 5 heads of states, namely from Burkina Faso, Mauritania, Niger, Chad, and of course from Mali, met in an extraordinary summit with the partner Emmanuel Macron, President of French Republic, to talk about the setting of the G5 Sahel Force, which is a joint forces to counter terrorism in the area. After the opening ceremony, head of state met to discuss about the way they will shape their collaboration in tackling the issues of security and terrorism. And for the setting of this G5 Sahel Force, each of the 5 countries agreed to contribute for 10 million euros for the setting of this G5 Sahel. After Bamako, Roch-Marc Christian Kabore flew to Addis Ababa in Ethiopia to attend the African Union Summit. One of the main goals of this 29th summit is to confirm the process undertaken to reform the African Union. The Union is funded by Western countries, and this reform is to find ways and means to fund the African Union by African countries. And the task is supervised by the President Kagame. At the end of this summit, the President of Zimbabwe, Robert Mugabe, donated $1 million to the EU. During this summit, President Roch-Marc Christian Kabore met some personalities, of which Dr. Natalia Kanem, the temporary executive officer of the United Nations Fund for Population. She congratulated President Kabore and his spouse for actions done and to be doing for the welfare of the population. After Natalia Kanem, Roch-Marc Christian Kabore met Mahmoud Abbas from Palestine. The Prime Minister of Cote d'Ivoire, Amadou Gon Coulibaly, landed in Burkina Faso on Friday. The purpose of this trip is to prepare the 6th TAC, the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation between Cote d'Ivoire and Burkina Faso. He was welcomed at the airport by the Prime Minister Paul Kabatieba. This 6th TAC will take place on July the 17th to 18th. The government of both countries are going to meet in Ouagadougou on July the 17th, and the summit is going to take place to the 18th of July. Just after this meeting with Paul Kabatieba, Amadou Gon Coulibaly went to Kosiam, where he was received by President Kabore. The National Assembly passed a law that aims to lighten the private and public partnership project contracting procedures. This law is supposed to be boosting the development of the country by the project that private partners will contract with the government. Some MPs showed their opposition to this law by leaving the National Assembly before the vote, apart from 2 MPs of the political opposition who stayed to pass that law. According to the opposition, this law of private and public partnership called PPP is an open gate to any sort of corruption in Burkina Faso. A task force of the UN Commission for Human Rights released a report in which the government is asked to free Djibril Yipene Bassone, former Minister of Foreign Affairs and former General of Gendarmerie, jailed in the military prison Maka for his alleged connection with the military coup perpetrated by General Gengere in September 2015. According to this report, Djibril Yipene Bassone is arbitrarily detained by the government. Yesterday, Friday, the Minister of Justice hosted a press conference to state on that case. According to René Bagoro, Minister of Justice, the former general is legally detained in prison and the prosecution steps have been respected. Next week, we're going to give you more details. The NGO Diakonia signed a convention with the European Union. By this convention, the EU is supporting the NGO Diakonia by funding more than 1 billion local currency to implement its program called Presimet or Presimeter, a tool for measuring the president's actions. Let us listen to Mrs. BOLY, a program officer at Diakonia, about this grant.
In the framework of this program, the European Union has agreed to grant 1.3 billion CFA to Diakonia to support civil society organizations in order to follow the president's program and to see if it's actually implementing what he said he would do and what he said he would do in his national program of development, which is called the PNDES. So this 1.3 billion CFA will basically go to civil society to support programs, projects of accountability, of transparency, and of monitoring public policies
So basically, you're running this program since the election of President Kabore. So concretely, what have you done as activity to support the president?
We shall say that the program was initially thought in 2015, and it was supposed to start in 2015 when the president was elected, but we were still looking for the funds. So we got the fund in 2016, and the program actually really began end of 2016, beginning 2017. So we're still in the first steps of this program.
So are those programs of monitoring and evaluation spread all over the country?
Yes, we must say yes, because it's a program with around 15 partners, local partners, that have an implementation in all over the country. So we are basically in all of the 13 regions.
The EU Special Representative of Human Rights in Burkina Faso met the journalists during a press conference to talk about human rights issues in the country. The meeting was held at Nobezongo Press Center. He says that a lot has been done regarding human rights in Burkina Faso. Let us listen to the EU representative.
Burkina Faso is a remarkable example of democratic dialoguing. It is an example that can and should inspire more countries around the world, although their history and their culture is very different from that in Burkina. Now, in my work as the European Union's Special Representative for Human Rights, I visit many countries. And in all of them, including in European Union countries themselves, I see serious challenges in human rights. So the fact that no one is perfect in human rights unites us in some ways. What does not unite us, what separates us, is those countries who try to be perfect, who try to improve, versus those countries who don't care to improve. Those countries who try to improve human rights in order to respect the human dignity of their people. Human dignity is the fundamental element of human rights, and that is both European and African and Asian and American. Everyone shares that. Those countries who try to improve human rights situation do it primarily through processes and independent institutions, independent civil societies that they protect as opposed to persecuting, independent courts, independent constitutional commissions, independent press. So when I'm in Burkina, I am here to highlight not that the situation in the country is in any way perfect. That's a decision the people make. But that we are inspired by a process of open discussion, of cooperation, of consultation, that can give a hope for striving for that perfection.
July the 4th, 1776, July the 4th, 2017, the USA are 241 years old, 241 years of history that were celebrated at the Embassy of United States to Burkina Faso. And for the celebration, the embassy organized a concert and a trade fair where partners exhibited their product. This year, the celebration theme was about civil engagement. We met the Ambassador, Henry Young, to know more about this 241st anniversary.
So I am so excited to be able to celebrate with so many friends here in Burkina Faso the 241st anniversary of United States independence. You know, amazing if you think back to 1776, the challenges that we faced, and now 241 years later, here we are with our friends in Burkina Faso celebrating our Independence Day.
How do you appreciate the relationship with Burkina Faso?
I have to tell you, I have had such a wonderful welcome in places all around this country. I think I've been to every region, and in small villages and in big cities, I have felt that warmth of hospitality, for which the Burkina people are known throughout the world. This is a place where hospitality and ability to solve problems through humor, like la plaisanterie apparentée à plaisanterie, is a wonderful aspect of civil society here in Burkina Faso that I think is a strength that should be exported. You know, we're talking about commercial issues. You have this wonderful ability to solve problems through humor and relationships. And as I think about the future, this historic time that Burkina Faso is going through now, since the popular insurrection and the creation where you grabbed your democracy, you grabbed your government, and you're building your government, I think the civil engagement, civil society, that role is critically important to the foundations of the future. So for me, the big theme tonight is civic engagement. That's me. I play a role in building a better society. I play a role in making my community better.
Many people came to enjoy this special day with their American brothers, and among those people are members of the government, political and civil society leaders, diplomats, and so on. We met Simon COMPAORE, State Minister and Minister of Security. Let us listen to him about the close relationship between United States of America and Burkina Faso.
We are so happy tonight to attend the 241 anniversary of the United States of America. And we share this happy anniversary with them. And we ask God to continue to bless all the Americans. And we are so happy because our relations with Americans are on top.
The ambassador of India was during the week at Norbury to visit the site where will be built a training center in solar energy. This special center, called Grandma Solar Center, will train rural women in using and spreading solar energy technologies. In the framework of this project, many rural women have been trained in India. Let us listen to the ambassador of India to Burkina Faso about this future center.
The objective of my visit was to see on ground where the project would be coming up, the Barefoot College, as the director mentioned, which would not only for training in the field of solar energy, but also other vocational training programs. And this project was conceived by India, and this is one of the projects which we are doing with the government of Burkina Faso, and it is being implemented by Barefoot College in close coordination with the Ministry of Environment and with the other agencies of government of Republic of Burkina Faso, the Excellency Governor and Mayor and the community. We would like to thank them for providing the land for this project, and we would like that this project is finished fast, and as was mentioned, the classes start happening as soon as possible, so that, but we are very happy with the concept, and as the way it was explained, it would not only be a vocational training center, I think it will also become a place for tourism, for many people to come and see like how the institute will come up. So we are very happy. India and Burkina Faso have very strong bilateral relations, and this is one of the projects which is now being started. We also have successfully completed vocational training center, which is in Ouagadougou, and the third project we would be sending a memorandum of understanding for soil and water testing. So I think all these projects would result in the support for the population, so that they can learn the skills and start thinking of making a livelihood by starting their own enterprises, by starting their own businesses.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching us. Headline is over, but before leaving, I would like to share with you this proverb. Never trouble troubles until the trouble troubles you. Never trouble troubles until the trouble troubles you. Meaning that we shouldn't look for problems in advance, but deal with them when they show up. See you and take care.